Hello, colleagues. This is the fifth one in the series, and this time we'll talk about presentation, a very, very key tool these days. And it won't be about the tools per se. It will be about the broad strokes, the do's and don'ts, etc. Yeah, communication we do to exist, to sustain, and to grow. Without this, without communication, it is even very difficult to exist. And in today's world, presentation has evolved as a way of communication to grow. And in this series or in this episode, let me talk about what are the broad strokes that we would like to talk and what are a few do's and don'ts and one odd high level skill also which come in handy at times. Yeah. Broad strokes. So like any other communication, audience is the king. No discussion about that. What audience understands, what they perceive is what you have delivered and nothing else. So keep that in mind. Keep their perspective, their liking, their pressure, their constraints in mind before you prepare a presentation, before you deliver the presentation. And irrespective of what it is about, whether it is an inform, whether it is an instruct, whether it is persuade, helping them to decide, whatever it is, ensure that you are provoking people to think. And that is the crucial part. How does it help? Your provoking gives them a thought that you are a thinking individual. That means they can expect more from you. And that means eventually they will give you higher responsibility. And that would mean growth for you and your team. And that is the virtuous cycle that we are talking about, the helical, virtuous, upward, mobile cycle that we are talking about. And any presentation can be done like a story. I mean, like how you see a character in a story, you will have situations in a presentation. How you see a villain in a storyline, you will see challenges and constraints like that in a presentation. How you conceive a peak or a climax of a story, similarly you come to a decision point while doing things in presentation. And yeah, like end, hopefully everything ends well and good wins. Yeah, but basically if you mold it like a story, if you have something to say, it is really good. And this takes time, the storytelling, because if you don't have the big picture, if you are not able to abstract things, if you are not able to connect to the big picture, then it is very difficult to tell a story. And one more last point in the broad stroke: be real. Being super ultimate positive throughout does not make sense. It's not real. People don't relate to you. If you are real, you are more relatable. And if you're more relatable, then there is a higher chance that you can get or you will get what you're looking for. What I'm saying is that yes, do interact with a sense of pride. That is not going anywhere. But at the same time, be grounded while you are doing this. Yeah. So these are a couple of broad strokes. Now let's go through some do's and don'ts. Yeah. Your speaking and your text, they go hand in hand. So it's not that whatever is written there you have to read verbatim each and every line. No, don't do that. The idea is whatever is written or presented or shown in a graph or picture, whatever it is, your statement, yes, a bit overlaps, it should be there, and at the same time it should complement whatever is being shown on the slides. Lesser the slide, the better it is. Very clear here. Yeah, and one pagers are enough at times to make a proposal, to make your management decide on something. If you are doing some persuasion or helping to come to a decision point, it's absolutely fine if it is a one pager. One pager has enough real estate to put your thoughts. Now, what if you have liked a template? What if you have liked some color scheme? Please do use that kind of structure. Please do use that kind of theme. That will make you feel good inside yourself, and that means your storytelling, your presentation will be better, more confident, and thereby getting you better results, better outcome as well. Yeah. And if it is one to many, then please do go for what we say, the visuals or graphics, etc., so that large amount of people can have a look at it and can be understanding your story relating to those things. Personally, I feel that animation helps, at least in the scenario where people are sitting far off. You are not face to face with them. You can't see you can't read their face. You can't see their reactions. You can't see them in the eye. So what happens is, if animation is coming, anything new appearing, people will be focused on that particular sub item for a few seconds, and that is where it helps you to it aids you in telling your story better. So these are some of the things that I would like you to consider while doing this. Now let's go a bit deeper. That any proposal that you make, any proposal that you make. Don't only talk the positive about the proposal, but also talk about the negatives of the proposal as well. What are the costs for this, or whatever the cons of any proposal, and that will make you appear as a neutral thinker. And then there is a high chance that people from diverse background will be able to listen to you, will be able to agree to your proposal or thoughts. And remember, even if it is a pure information kind of a presentation, even there could be hidden proposal. Even there you can highlight the skill set or the other possibilities behind it in subtle way. Yeah. And one last thing about the do's, that whatever you are talking about, hold on to the slide before you start with the text and the pictures. Let the slide stay there for a minute and take 1 minute or even 1.5 minutes to explain the context, what this is all about, what is the purpose, what is the genesis, what was the reaction, or what is the action that you have been given or you thought about, and against what you are presenting this. That really helps. Yeah. Now we have looked at the do's. Now let's look at some don'ts. Yeah, as we all of us know, no long huge sentences. If it is wrapping more than one line, it's already not so good. Wrapping 2 lines is just a no chance that you can go to a third line. Nobody likes that kind of presentation. As we discussed as well, don't repeat whatever is written there in orally verbatim, because that people don't really appreciate it. And don't alter fundamental meaning of color. So don't use green for something which is not right. Don't use red for something which is right and all that. So stick with the generally globally accepted terms of green, orange, red if you have to show something in colors. Yeah. And don't get to don't change your pitch during the presentation. So if it is a persuasion pitch, let's not mix with instruction in here. Don't do that, because in a different session on the same topic you can do that, but in one single session trying to change the pitch is not a smart thing to know. And while yes, we talked about in do's that if you like a template, stick to it, but see if the template is matching to the storyline or not. If it is not a match, don't be obliged to use the same template. Move out. A new template will come. Simple bullets will do, but don't try to force fit your story in a given template. Yeah. And never hesitate while you are making your proposal or asks. If you hesitate, everybody suffers. You suffer, your audience suffers, and your team suffers, because nobody is now sure is your heart in the ask or not. So don't do that. And if in case you are running overtime, or if you have run overtime and you look like that, in next 3 minutes you will not be able to finish it, you have clear option. Apologize for delay. Don't blame the questioners or anybody. Apologize for the delay and ask for a next schedule. That's how you should go about it. So these are some of the don'ts and do's that I would like to put together. And then there are some high level skill as well. These are, sometimes you propose or you talk about something which will split the people. So it will divide the audience by your opinions, or you want to influence. Sometimes you want to hide. In this talk, let me just talk about the skill of hide. What is a hide thing? You are very sure about something great that you are doing or you have done, but you don't put it in your presentation. You don't directly talk about it, but you lead audience so that they ask you the question and then you give them this answer which was hidden so far, and then it can go really well. Risky style, but returns are very high. Conclusion: if something doesn't go right, don't stop trying, because your team's growth, your growth depends on it. Always reflect and analyze. That makes lot of sense. And from bad to okay to good to very good to being natural is a journey, and all of us are part of the journey. All the best for your next presentation. Thank you.